we got doors.
Well, it is a warm but wet October day, October 24th to be exact. It's been about a month since we made fifth cut in alfalfa. To be honest, probably wasn't really worth it making that hay. Only made like 70 bales, and they ended up musting and molding. And I knew when I baled it, it was just wet. So I brought it out here to the steer barn, and it's gonna make great steer hay. They'll eat musty stuff, and it's alfalfa, so it's like candy to them. So they're gonna eat it, they're gonna love it. We also brought out all the other junk hay that we made back at the beginning of the summer, and they're also eating that like candy, which is kind of, it's interesting. Anyway, beans came off a couple weeks ago. They didn't do super hot. They're like 55 bushels to the acre, but we made a profit on them, so that's all that matters. They drilled wheat in here. You see, they drilled the wheat here, and we'll take that off next summer. So we'll have straw to bale next summer, and there's 10 acres here, 10 acres of wheat. That'll be a good chunk of straw. We won't really need any more than that, so it's plenty for us. Next year, we're gonna be making a whole lot of hay, and we're gonna be baling a lot, because this year we had the alfalfa, which is only 4.5 acres, and then we had 8 acres of new seeding, and we didn't take a cutting of that off till like July. We took a second cutting off in right at the beginning of September. I think total we made off of that 8 acres, we made like 600 bales or something, I think. Yeah, about 600 bales between the two cuttings. But next year we should get 3, maybe even 4 really good cuttings off of it. And that first cutting, I can guarantee, is probably going to be a really thick cutting. So we're going to make a lot of hay. Also, my buddy's blocking the door. Excuse me. Excuse me. There's 2 of them that just do not like humans. Ow, that hurt. So you see over there, we stacked, that is all the alfalfa and some of the junk hay. And then this whole center bay, all back in there, is packed full as well. I think we have enough of hay to get through the winter, because we had 4 big bales left over from last year. We baled 6 more from the neighbor's hay, so we got 6 new big bales in there. And then the probably close to 200, maybe 250 bales of, maybe even 300, I don't know, of the junk hay that makes phenomenal steer hay. They love it. They eat it like candy. So this is first cutting hay from the neighbor's fields. And if you look here, I'm trying to make a good sample here for you. So there's some green in here, you know, there's green stuff. There's a lot of bleached, stemmy brown stuff. We got the occasional clover or alfalfa plant. But then you also got some weeds in here. I don't know if I can find them. There's a weed right there. That plantain stuff. Oh, buddy. You want some? You want some? Oh, yeah. No? Okay. So, the reason they didn't take it was because it was, for them, their horse people, it was borderline a little bit too wet. They were a little unsure about it, which I totally understand, because horses, they eat like moldy or musty hay, they can get colic. So I understand why they were a little concerned and they didn't want to take it, because that's a pretty serious issue that cows and steers don't deal with, at least to my knowledge. Ours don't. So I understand why they were a little bit hesitant about the hay. And most of it was baled at that 13, 14, 15% moisture, which pretty average. But there were wet spots. The sun was setting. It was also May 19th. Drying days weren't as long. It cured for 3 days. I was trying to race rain, so it was kind of a bad situation, but they erred on the cautious side. We bought it back from them, and it's you know, they made money off their hay, and we got great steer hay, because I mean, I didn't think the steers would eat it, but they have been eating this stuff like candy. Like, I mean, they just come in, these 2, they're used to humans, and they come in here and they just, I mean, they eat it like candy. Those 2, they'll come in eventually, but not right now. Anyway, this guy here, he likes it, right? Right, you like it? You let me pet you? You let me pet you? There you go. So back in the winter, we built this barn with door tracks on it, but we didn't put the doors on it quite yet. And, you know, just price reasons, you know, it's an extra, you know, X amount of money to put doors on. And we were like, we don't really need them quite yet. Down the road, we probably will. So we'll put the door tracks on, but we didn't get the doors. After making hay all summer long, we realized that about to where I'm standing now, so if you kind of look behind me, you can see there's a bunch of room that way. About to where I'm standing, if it was wet and raining, the rain would come in to where I'm standing. That's a hole, that's 10 feet. So we couldn't stack it, well, and it would even actually come back a little bit farther. So we couldn't stack hay out to the door because it would get wet. Another problem, as you can see behind me, how all the hay looks brown. Now it's only the bales that were facing the sun. They got bleached. If you flip them over, they're wonderful bales, but the sun, the sky, everything, it bleached them. Another thing is because there was no doors, the hay, you know, it pick up that little bit of moisture whenever we get a rain or maybe a dew. And that would also add to the bleaching. So you can see here, we got bleach, but now if we dig in a little bit, we don't got bleach. So the hay is still good. I don't want you to think that I made a bunch of bad hay. I got a bunch of good hay if you want to buy it. I'm super happy with the doors. I'm glad that we got them. It also makes this barn look much, much bigger because now it's like we actually have 40 by 80 square feet worth of room in here to stack hay and equipment. Before that, as far as stacking hay, we only had about half the barn to stack hay. And even all the hay that was stacked back here would still get bleached. It would still pick up moisture. It is currently raining out right now. It's been raining for about an entire day. And the hay in here is all dry. Nothing is on the floor. It's wonderful. So the plan is next year, because we're gonna have a good bit more hay next year with the rented ground, and we're gonna have baling straw off that field out there and all the extra hay that we're gonna get off of that field. This barn's gonna be pretty full, and I'd imagine that some of this equipment's gonna have to sit outside. The baler definitely not, but maybe the tedder rake and the mower over there. This is gonna be pretty full. So the thought is, now that we got doors on here, we can stack all the way out to the front, and we can take advantage of this extra 10 or 15 feet that we weren't able to because we didn't have doors before. So the idea is, the way the doors are set up, depending which doors you can open, you can have 3 open or 2 open at once, I think, or something like that. There's 2 door tracks. So the idea is we're gonna stack every other. We'll stack hay there, we'll stack hay in this center one up here, and then we'll stack hay on that far side. And then the 2 middle bays, that one and that one there where the 966 is, that'll end up being equipment storage or, you know, tractors, whatever it may be. And like I said, there's a possibility that as we fill up with hay during the summer, some of the equipment might have to sit outside with the wagons. And if that's the case, you know, we'll just have to deal with it, because at the end of the day, you got to keep the hay dry. The hay equipment that sits over there, the mower, the rake, and the tedder, that stuff can sit outside because the mower has a bunch of sheet metal that'll shield rain and stuff, and the rake and tedder are not as complicated as the other pieces. This thing must sit inside, bottom line. There's too much that can go wrong. Don't want rust, the whole ordeal. That's got to stay inside. And I try to keep the tractors inside as well. I want to try to keep nice equipment. So that's the plan. That's the tentative plan, the tentative idea. There's no way that we would be able to make do with outdoors next year. Just with the new seating next year, because this year we only took 2 cuttings off of it and they weren't the biggest yielding cuttings. Next year we should get at least 3, if not 4, good cuttings off of it if we have good weather like we did this year. And that itself, that's 8 acres there. It's got a lot of grass in it. Grass is a pretty high yielding crop. You know, it can get pretty thick. So that itself is going to yield a lot. Say another 4 cuttings of alfalfa, plus, I don't know, 500 small bales of straw, maybe even more than that. and plus the rented ground that we have up there. That's only an acre, but it's thick grass, so that'll yield a couple hundred bales probably throughout the year. And then if there's any other hay that we make, like we made some hay off of our neighbor's ground, we bought some hay back from them that we made, and now it's steer hay. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. The other thing that we're looking at getting is an elevator. It would be a locally made elevator. It's aluminum, and they're real lightweight, something that you can move around but with two people. Not a big long trailed one with wheels. We're not stacking up into a mall, so we don't need something that elaborate. We just need something that, you know, if I back a wagon through this door, set the elevator on the back of the wagon and just shoot it up to the top of the pile up here so we can stack all the way up to the rafters and maybe even up into them depending on how much hay we make. So yeah, that's the plan. Anyway, this barn is virtually finished. I know the camera doesn't really make it look like there's much hay in here, and there actually really isn't compared to the size of the barn. Now with the doors, we should be able to fit a lot of hay in here. So that's gonna be the plan next year. I think that's it for this barn. I think we're gonna need, I don't think we'll do anything else to it for a little while. It'd be nice to run some electric in here. But I mean, if we ever do anything in the dark, like we could just get those extension cord lights and get the generator. That's really all you need. Floodlight. It's not a shop. We're not working in here every day, so electric isn't a huge deal right now. Down the road, I think it'd be nice to put electric in here. Down the road, I could see us building a second barn up here, especially depending on how this year goes. If we make so much hay that we run out of room or something, second barn would be nice. And it doesn't even have to be as big as this, maybe just the same size, a 40 by 80 or a 40 by 60, something that can house the equipment. And then this could be the hay barn. So anyway, there's plans for the farm, and it's exciting. It's an exciting time in my life for farming, and I'm excited that I got to do this year, and very thankful and very blessed, and can't wait to do it again next year. We got projects and plans for this winter. Again, we got to address breakdowns and things that happen to the equipment, like I said. As far as wagons, I don't really think anything needs stuff. Maybe a little welding here and there. There's a pile of gravel out here all spread out. Yeah, we got stuff to do. We got things that need to get done. I'd like to polish this baler, which doesn't really look like it needs polished. The camera makes it look pretty red, but it's getting to that. I mean, it was pretty well kept before us, but I mean, I think a nice polish and wax would make this thing really stand out. And some touch-up paint here and there. She'll be brand spanking new. I know I'm babbling a lot. I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you guys for watching. That's all the updates for now. I'll try to keep content going for you. It is currently harvest right now. So like last fall, I was on a harvest crew, and I'm on the same harvest crew this year. So we're over halfway through. It's October, what did I say? 24th something today. So we're over halfway through. We should finish up in the next month. After that, I'm gonna have a lot more time to focus in on the stuff that needs to get done here. So that's the plan. I'll be making videos for you guys, making hunting videos. So if you're interested in hunting, go check out the hunting videos, hunting channel, the Boover Crew. We got merch over there. I should get some merch for this channel as well. So comment down below if you want to see some Jake from Steak Farm merch. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.